They won 3-2, so anything can happen.
I
Anything can
think
happen.
SG are in love with this banning phase right now.
Yeah.
Talking to Swindle Millins, all the heroes he hates to play against are banned.
That is true. He took care of Scout and Warbeast, but Dampier Keeper taken care of by tmsR. You know what what just hit me too? Dampier is 3-0 in the series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tmsR is like, we are not giving you that 3-0 hero. But they do give them Kraken. Kraken's good.
Yeah, I think both teams are across the point. We probably could beat Dampier, but we're tired of having to, trying to. Let's just not deal with it right now.
You see the picks coming out so far. So the Kraken first pick, Ophelia, the response from tmsR. They have Engineer response over there on State Green, but then Rally coming out from Too Much Sugar. So they're going the jungle, but they go Ophelia, not the Tempest here.
It's telling that they want to put on the aggression. I'm really surprised that the Hag has been passed up by both teams right now. They go Parasite over Hag. I guess they just really want the jungler, and for some reason they don't want the Tempest this game.
Yeah, not going to go it here. At least just yet. I mean, probably not going to go it in the end, of course, as double jungle hasn't been seen in forever. But yeah, the Parasite pickup going to be happening by Stay Green, as you said. So yeah, they too pass up the Tempest and going the aggressive Parasite route. So we'll see how that pays off for them. tmsR back to their side, though. Maybe something like a Glacia support here could be pretty good, but
I don't think we'll see a support pick. Maybe a Hag, maybe a MOA, maybe a mid. No, they have. Alright, Bubbles. I am just actually really shocked that we have not seen a Hag pick by either team. It's really just a really popular hero right now, and just straying away from it. I guess tmsR don't want to pick Hag and a Parasite Kraken, but I'm tending that tmsR is gonna last pick a hard carry with that Bubbles pickup.
Yeah. Sand Wraith, the first ban. Speaking of hard carry. So the Melons know something's up. Wretched Hag. The response so far from tmsR. So, but yeah, maybe thinking State Green's going to go all carry route here as far as their bans. I mean, Sand Wraith to start. Yeah, and they still need one themselves, really, but maybe they corrupted open or something.
Yeah, I could see that. I foresee maybe like a Dark Lady ban, or they go Tort. So banning out some support options, and it's always a good option. It's a great split pusher, just a good zoner. Tort is.
Yeah. Torturer, the zoning hero, taken out. tmsR now looking about their second ban. Obviously, they started with the Wretched Hag. So also, kind of, again, that carry route. So here we are. Game number 4. Too Much Sugar is staying alive. They came from the winner's bracket. Again, here, I know there continues to be a little bit of confusion on that. This is not Han Tour, guys. Han Tour, there's a 1-game advantage, but in the SoundBlaster Heroes League, going into it, it was decided it was going to be a straight-up best out of 5 here. And so there was just a 0-0 from the beginning. State Green won the first 2 games, but Too Much Sugar. They win game number 3, and they are holding it off. Trying to force now a 5th game. And wouldn't that be something, especially as a spectator. But Pebble's going to be the next band coming out from Too Much Sugar. Again, $11,000 on the line. $7,500 for first place, $3,500 for second place. As far as the prize pool split goes. Third place, of course, was Lion Esports Club. They lost to State Green yesterday in the losers bracket finals, but they took home $2,500. And the Internet Gangsters, obviously you guys, finishing that 4th place spot. $1,500, not too shabby. But again, these 2 teams, the last 2 remaining. Master of Arms is actually the final band from State Green coming out. Taking away the MOA option over here.
Yeah, just a good counter pusher. It seems like State Green's going to play the aggressors in this matchup, so they just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. Now you look back at tmsR here. They're thinking about their final one. Again, Hag to start, Pebbles to follow. Anything really obvious to you here? Again, it's really not sure. Okay, Ravener is going to be the ban.
Ravener's a good ban. I was even thinking maybe a Slither ban could be good, but I like the Ravener ban. Ravener Engineer's fairly strong.
Yeah.
And yeah, just pretty much that. Picks, though, I'm not really sure what direction State Green want to go with this. They don't have good pushers. Alright, they're just going to go more of a mid-game to late-game focus with the CD Kraken.
So now tmsR, how are they going to respond to that? They still did that carry themselves, as you were saying. Was Sandwraith was banned, right? Yeah, so Sandwraith not going to be an option here, but If there's a carry you like to go against Corrupted, is there one that comes to mind? I mean,
Mage Bane's fairly good. You can just blink out. Dark Lady's not bad. He's pretty fast. Dragon's actually pretty good because he's a pretty solid no-stone hero. And you can go like no-stone Shrunken Head and just Conduit. Doesn't really do much, though. I guess the other team has a Parasite, so you could face log that off.
Yeah. They go Pyromancer as their support here for
Maybe
Too Much Sugar.
Fade here by SG.
Yeah.
They need a mid hero. And they already have two kind of like carry potential heroes on the side lane, so they don't really need a semi-carry. Alright, there it is.
Yeah, Swin Amounts love to play that Fade, so not a big surprise by any means to see that. We usually see her banned a lot of the time in those second-tier bans, but especially against Stay Green for that reason. But yeah, going to be picked up here, so yeah, I'm sure they're glad with that. But which carry is it going to be? Which carry is it going to be for tmsR? At least you're thinking it's going to be a carry, obviously. End here.
It could even be Moon Queen. Moon Queen isn't very good against CD in the early to mid game, but once you get to the 4-5 slot, it's pretty good still. As we saw Imba Boy, if you go to Doombringer, it just doesn't matter if he has a 10 charge conduit on you. You still do 500 damage.
Yeah.
But
that's true. Yeah, and those highlights right there. Soul Reaper. All right. They're going the Soul Reaper route. So I guess you could say that's a decent option against Corrupted. You know, he's not as concerned about his auto attacks that other carries are.
It's just more of a they don't want to go late game with this lineup, so they're just gonna go for the early to mid game. They're gonna try to get incremental advantage in the early game through team fighting, and then just take that and stride it into the mid game.
Yeah. There you go. Game number 4, ladies and gentlemen. Again, 2-1 series lead for Stay Green. They took the first 2 games. Too Much Sugar winning the last one. The big difference, though, with this game, no Dampier. Dampier 3-0 in this series so far. Not going to be seen here, obviously. So, going to be fun to see how this one plays out. Here we are, game number 4 to start things off. Again, they go the Soul Reaper to finish. They got a lot of heal potential, a lot of team push potential. As you said, this is a team makeup that tmsR making the statement they do not want to take this into the later game stage. They want to get the job done by that mid-game phase and be already entering the base ideally. So we'll see how that works out for them. Bottom lane, you see Stay Green. They're already moving there very quickly. They're going to protect that Parasite jungle here.
This is really weird. I think tmsR thinks that she's going to man up with the Parasite.
Huh. Oh, yeah.
And otherwise, it's kind of odd by Moon to buy counter wards, and maybe they want to dual lane long lane again, actually. Maybe that's just it.
Yeah.
Which is pretty solid unless SG read it. If SG don't read it, they'll be in kind of a bad position because CD Engineer is actually just really awful dual lane. And you don't really want to swap your Fade bottom after already being in lane for a minute.
Yeah. So they're just going to kind of hug the tower right here. They're not going to give them too much information just yet as far as what they may be thinking here. But Stay Green, obviously, again, they're in their own jungle. They're just waiting for somebody to come. You find out some Parasite. He's kind of just having fun, keeping occupied in the meantime. But here we go. The horn, or in this case, the creepy guy, does his thing, and, the game has started. Shout out to the Halloween season. Bubble's going to be in the middle lane. Soul Reaper top. And as you said, the aggressive dual lane coming out here for tmsR. And I don't think Stay Green is going to see it. They got Engineer Fade middle. Corrupted's going that bottom. Now the question is, will he be able to maybe catch either Parasite or Corrupted here? Off guard right off the bat and maybe even get a kill out of it. So you can see, man, they're going to go for blocks here.
Are they?
Initially.
That is not blocked. That's just a ward for vision.
He's going to stand there. Oh, no, he doesn't even block it. Okay.
That is kind of a huge misplay.
Yeah.
If both their heroes could have stayed and body blocked both of the camps and blocked this hard camp, blocked the full camp, they just waited there for 3 more seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that they're fine, but I think that would have been a little bit more optimal.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I think Moon even thought he actually was blocking it from there, but it was just out of range. So it actually obviously didn't block it in the end, and well, that's something that they're just gonna have to deal with now. Parasite currently is actually over here near the middle lane, so he isn't even over there just yet. But Engineer is already making that adjustment, as you can see earlier on, as you expected. So, but you made the point, though. I mean, Engineer Corrupt is not really the scariest lane, necessarily, to go up against.
They do have a Parasite who can initiate with a slower, maybe a good I don't know, like a Skeleton King grasp. So there is some potential, but I think tmsR should do fairly decent in this bottom lane. In the mid lane, Keizu should have a pretty solid advantage. Bubbles, Fade is kind of a bad 1v1 laner, so I think Keizu should do fairly good here.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he had full regen of 1 set, so he's gonna have a little bit faster bottle. He has 2 sets of regen versus Fine to himself. So.
Yeah. Keep an eye on how that plays out so far. Pretty even back and forth. We'll see if it starts taking off. Top lane matchup. You got Kraken versus Soul Reaper. Haven't seen this one too often, but yeah, I would think, Soul Reaper actually should do pretty good with that aura especially, which he actually isn't even going, so never mind. He's just skipping it here. So what is your take on that?
I think it's fine. His harassment's a little bit weaker at the lower levels, but he will get a bigger advantage around the level 3 to 4 mark when he has like 2 points in human nature. And so it says he has 10 charges. Okay, so he just gave himself full mana. So I think his build is fine. Like I kind of like it. Once he gets level 4, it'll be really hard for him to stay in lane.
Yeah. You see bottom lane again. Engineer definitely showing himself now. So no, it is more about two versus 2 setup here, but at the same time, Engineer doesn't want to get a bad position. Neither does Corrupted, though. There's the start. Kexon is going to let it rally finally. Will it be enough to save Corrupted, though? One more auto attack, maybe not going to happen. Health potion, he cancels the health pot, but they won't get the kill in the end. Rally taking a lot of return damage, but he is going to be fine when it's all said and done. So they go for the Bloodlust kill. A little short, though, and not going to be happening. Middle lane, Bubble's taking some extra harassment, but he is going to be fine as well. So, but they're keeping Corrupted Disciple on his toes, and they are forcing a good amount of regen to be used.
It looked pretty even though. It looked like they just both traded regen.
Yeah.
How much regen do they have in the lane? 1 treater for Hellborn, 6 treats for Stay Green. So Stay Green's better positioned right now. They have regen to spare.
Yeah. Yeah, the one right there on Rally, so that's definitely true. You can definitely keep boxing him out here, or at least attempting to do so. So maybe tmsR going to go for another all-in kill right here, but not going to be happening just yet, at least. So, slower game to start, though, other than that little bit of action we had right there. Soul Reaper, again, he is passing up their R altogether. Talked about that, building into the inhuman nature. He's currently 21-1. Kraken is 20-0. So, Kraken's still keeping up with the creep farm here. It's fairly impressive coming out from Limp, but again, you can argue this is probably his best hero as of late.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. Kraken, Bubbles looks like his best 2 heroes in a purely 1v1 matchup.
Yeah.
And Ophelia has yet to have a presence in the top lane. And he also has a counter. Oh, actually, this ward provides provision, so that's pretty good by Limp. If it was a block, it probably would have already been countered by Ophelia, who has a counter ward on him. So I like how he did that.
How are the junglers doing? We got Parasite at 270, Ophelia at 250, so both seem to be doing decent here. No ganks being set up just yet. Right as I say that, though, Skeleton King coming in, but there's a ward of sight that's spotting this. So tmsR definitely very aware of what's going on. He has to compel if needed, not even needed. And they fall back, so. Good vision coming out. You kind of wonder if Stay Green is going to maybe look to counter that here or not, but it is about to wear off, so it wouldn't be the biggest counter ward in the world.
So this aggressive dual lane is really paying off for tmsR. Sure, they're barely winning bottom in terms of gold farm, but this is pretty good considering if they had just thrown a Bubbles bottom, he would have got crushed by CD.
Yeah.
CD would have like 300, 350, whereas now Bubbles is even winning middle or action bottom.
They're trying to get the kill in the middle lane. They will get the kill. Meanwhile, back to the bottom lane. Engineer's dropping, but will that be enough for the kill on him? Rally gets delivered the bottle, but it's not going to be enough. Corrupted Disciple gets 8 charges on that conduit, and you see the damage. Pyro's like, yeah, I can't fight this. 1 auto attack, 2 auto attacks. Oh, the healing touch actually keeps him alive at the last second. That was really close, but good timing coming out from Ophelia right there. But yeah, I was actually watching the middle lane while that bottom started to take place, and Bubbles came in and Ophelia assisted to take out Faye. Now, Parasite's looking for a little bit of response, but not going to be happening. But at least they got the kill on Rally at the bottom side there.
Yeah, they did get the kill on Rally in the bottom side, though. Swindlemon is having a really rough start in the middle lane. Keizu is 150 GPM over him. The kill experience is just... He has just Boots Bottle. He's going to get top root Invis, which is good. Maybe he can kill Soul Reaper with that.
We'll see if that happens. Let me see his bottles up that Invis. Where is he going? He's thinking about maybe going up top, but no. Going to come back to the middle, at least farm this out for now and make something of it later. Bubbles going for the refreshment room. Nice take cover right there on the Kegstone. We'll take some turret slow, however. Here comes Parasite. Burst damage. Face hug. It's going to be enough, though. I mean, Bubbles is able to take it quite a bit. He already has Steam Boost set on strength. And, yeah, he's going to be more than fine. Not only more than fine, but actually trying to maybe set up a turn kill here. No, not going to happen. He had Raleigh kind of coming over, but realized that it probably wasn't worth it in the end. So falls back to the middle lane. There's some couple of resources used for nothing, though, coming out of Stay Green. But look at Jesse at the bottom lane. Applies that conduit, and immediately Raleigh compels away. Knows he can't hold up to that middle lane. Fades in trouble once again, just like before. They have the dust coming out, and Swindlemelons again will fall. So the very active tank effect here is coming into play big time for tmsR.
Yeah, I think SG are in a lot of trouble. This tmsR lineup is they're doing well in the lane stage. They're crushing mid, contesting bottom, winning short lane. Their jungler is, I guess the junglers are still pretty even, but they have this lineup where they're just going to start team fighting, and within an advantage, they're just going to snowball that into a pretty dominant push that SG just can't stop.
Yeah. See bottom lane Rally. Again, taking a little bit of harassment from Corrupt the Disciple, but as you're saying, Corrupt is not taken off by any means because this choice to aggressive dual lane here especially. He's at 270 gold per minute. Rally's at 240 gold per minute. So yeah, tmsR. They're getting, now, last game there was definitely some criticism surrounding stacking their Ancients and giving it up to Stay Green. So we'll see this game how maybe it's a little bit different, if it is. They're going to stack it right here to triple, and we'll keep an eye on that.
Well, the only reason last game they kept giving up their Ancients is because they didn't want to take team fights, and SG was always trying to contest them. But in this kind of game, tmsR is looking to take the fights. But look at Ophelia, he could be in trouble. Fade Invis.
That is a bottle Invis, though. It's not his actual reflection. So, but yeah, he's not going to go for it. He actually bottles up a haste, however. And he may find some good use of that. But here at the Ancients, speaking of that, so they are going to go to it right away. Even Seismic Slam being used, so they're trying to kill these ASAP. Kind of learning from last game once again. Bubbles. Oh, the tank cover on the face hug right there. He is going to be fine. They're looking to turn once again. Kelfield comes out. Swindlemelons again in some trouble, but the haste are going to barely keep him alive. Can they take out the Hell Cannon control Parasite? They lock him down. Rally comes in. The auto attack still follow. Burning Shadow sends out. Release. The Kraken comes out, holding them in place. Parasite going to be fine. They get the kill to Rally. Bubbles is dropping. Bubbles goes down. And Stay Green comes out on top of that fight. A 3-for-0 exchange. A double tap for Chessie. Oh, that was beautiful, beautiful response from Stay Green.
Yeah, great response by SG, but I just don't really get what they're trying to do there. They're chasing a fade with an invis, and there's teleports coming in, and it's such a huge risk for a game that you probably won't even get. It's just, and you saw right there, sure, tmsR, they're still good in a good spot, but they just gave away their entire early game advantage.
Yeah. You got Soul Reaper. Yeah, obviously he was just farming the top lane. I mean, really can't blame him by any means. Not much he could have done there, even if he did pour it in. So Haxorin just making best use of his time there at the top lane. He is level 9 now and actually topping the GPM chart, but just barely. It's him and Corrupt the Disciple really are pretty much actually neck for neck right here. So 370 gold per minute about for both of them. You got the Energizer here on Corrupt the Disciple early on with those Steam Boots. Kraken also obviously a big assistance there in that middle lane. Huge ultimate coming out from him to lock down the chase that was happening on to Fade and eventually help set up those couple of turn kills. He actually has another 600 gold saved up. He's buying a good amount of early items here. He's got the bottle, the Mystic Vestments, and the Steam Boots, so keep an eye on that. They go back to the triple stack Ancients. They actually didn't even finish them off the first time because it got occupied, obviously, so they are going to finish them off now, though. And picking up some decent farm for Rally. So you got an Ophelia, who's level 8 here, getting some decent farm to start. You have Soul Reaper, who's obviously doing pretty well himself. We talked about this as an early to mid-game team here, Sander. I mean, when do they need to start making things happen as far as group and pushing?
Honestly, like 2 minutes ago, they could take it a little bit slower if they wanted to, but now they need to start getting a strategy and start taking fights because they gave a lot of space back to SG, and with that space, they can kind of drag the game out.
Yeah.
But it looks like they're going to do something top. I'm kind of curious where Hax's items went. I feel like he should have a little bit more. He's sitting at 370 gold per minute.
They want to dive? Nope, not going to happen. Rally goes in tower range. He had the invis, obviously, but Kraken felt something was just not right, and Limp is correct to think that. However, they are going to try to flank now even. Bubbles coming from behind. They really want to kill this Kraken, if not push this top tower, so we'll see if they can get anything out of this. Kraken's still kind of hanging around. You see Bubbles is just waiting patiently, but yeah, they're not going to force the issue. They're going to get the easy tower kill. and they'll fall back. Obviously, Kraken, he's pretty damn tanky, and he has ways to get away, so you do not want to jump him unless you're guaranteed that you can kill him in that case. They're going to keep going, though. They're going to keep going for the secondary tower here. You got to think State Green's going to respond to this one, though.
They could. Pyromancer isn't here. And a 4v5 team fight, you're always looking to take a 4v5 team fight. So tmsR is going to back up, wait for Pyromancer to join up with his team, and then probably go again.
Yeah. Tower's at 370 life right now. You see Rally up there trying to bait something. Corrupted Disciple pushing bottom, pressure in that tower. You have Fade middle still. Tower's dropping. Here come the TPs up on a bit. Release the Kraken to start things off. Gets the Skeleton King right there. Sorper gonna be compelled away. Will it be enough though? There's the initiation onto Ophelia. Can she get the healing touch off? She's gonna be locked out. She does get off. Kodak's not finishing. Taking that will fall in the end, but can they turn now? Conduit onto Sorper in the meantime. Sorper using his demonic execution simply for the stun right there to help run away. Electrotide comes out. There's some burst damage on Corrupted Disciple. Will it be enough for a response? Yes, it will. Corrupted Disciple goes down. Big turn for tmsR at the end there. Double damage on Rally. He's looking to still fight, it looks like. He's looking, no, he compels away actually. Did not get the best angle, and he will be fine when it's all said and done. So, did they get the tower kill as well? They did. I think tmsR came in on top there.
Oh, by
Definitely.
far. CD for Ophelia. Ophelia will fire up his astrolabe when he comes back up again, and a tower kill, so it's definitely good for tmsR, but they still have more work to do. Though Hax is going to Lightbrand, and I'm not really a fan of it. I feel he's really squishy right now. I mean, you saw in that team fight, like, he can't stay in the fight. I feel like an Icon or a Sackstone would be like the go-to item, preferably an Icon in this game.
He is going to Lightbrand. I mean, squishy. So he is getting. His farm is impressive. It's 420 gold per minute. It's actually up there, obviously. So again, will be squishy, but they do have Ophelia. I'm sure Astrolabe is going to be in the works. And having a Grimoire, obviously, 15% more damage overall on top of just even extra farm is good. But yeah, it does go back to that argument. Is if you're trying, are you trying to play a Outlast farming game, or are you trying to play a more of a group up team fight push earlier on a game? And we thought it was going to be the latter, but it seems like they might be fine going more of a trying to compete in farm game here.
I mean, yeah, he does transition better into the mid game with a Grimoire, but I just don't think they're gonna get. I feel like they're just gonna keep fighting, but maybe
Oh, Parasite made it bit off a little bit too much more than he could chew. Maybe not. He gets the kill. Can he get away, though, is the question. Mineout's going to do a little bit of ring around the rosy right here, and yes, he will be fine. So it looked like he might have got turned right there, but the burst is just too much to handle. Pyromancer has Steam Boots, not much else, though. And Mumieta gets picked off, so well played by Parasite right there, showing off his shiny toy, the Codex. And Corrupted's actually going to be pushing bottom in the meantime. You got Rallies here. The tower is still about just below half life now. Going to be able to hold them off for here. And it looks like Shrunken Head's going to be ASAP here for Corrupted. He buys the Mighty Blade. At least I assume that's what it's going to be here for him. So Kraken, 730 more gold saved up on himself. He's farming about 330 GPM. Looks like Beast Heart or, Helm of the Black Legion ultimately going to be on the way. Swindle Melons, obviously he hasn't had the best of games. He was getting occupied there in the middle lane. Died twice early on, and it's showing. 270 gold per minute, though. At this rate, you think just getting that portal key ASAP makes sense?
Portal key or puzzle blocks would probably be the go-to. Probably just a portal key so you can set up a good Kraken ult. So if you get a 2-man stun, then you got a 2-man Kraken ult, and you're good with that. But I kind of fear for tmsR. Like they kind of need to make stuff happen. They're not going to transition well. They really need to get a good advantage before CD gets a Shrunken Head up. Because if he gets a Shrunken Head before they start snowballing, they're just not going to have the damage output, and CD is just going to be uncontested in these team fights.
Yeah.
They do have an Astrolabe on Ophelia now, so I really hope with this that they go take a fight or go push some towers down.
Triple stack Ancients here on the Legion side. See if that also is done here shortly by Stay Green. Or not. Not going to be doing it just yet. Yeah, that Grimoire is coming here for Haxer. And Portal Key, whose Portal Key is that? That's Kazu's, it looks like. So actually Rally is able to get his. Oh no, that's Slicks. Kazu. Bubbles. Bubbles has his Portal Key now. Rally trying to jump the middle lane, but Fade a quick reaction right there. Using the reflection, he's going to be fine. And also he hits level 11, so that's still a level 1 reflection, but at least he is level 11 now. As that. The triple stack Ancients are being done in the meantime. Kraken doing the majority of them. Here comes Fade for assistance at least. Just going to kind of get the farm for spread out a little bit right here. Get them killed ASAP, though. Corrupted back to the bottom lane. Jesse just keeps poking here at the bottom lane. And he's going to pressure the tower once again. So tmsR, it's going to be interesting to see if they defend. Or Grimoire just finished, though, and they're pushing mid, it looks like. Oh, that's an easy tower.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower. Destroyed a Legion tower.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you do Ancients while the enemy team is pushing, but, you know, they get tower trade plus they kill the triple sec. SG's just okay with that.
Yeah. Not the biggest deal in the world, and both teams will start falling back. Kinda. Corrupted Disciple's still going, though. Hey, you know, this is a little bit risky. Obviously, they do have a bubbles, and especially with the Portkey now, they got to rally with the PK. So, yeah, Chessie is going to start falling back as soon as they start to go a little bit missing in action there. And that was for good reason. So, good presence of mind coming out. And he is still working towards that shrunken head. 16 more 100 gold saved up. Into the jungle he goes. Kongor possibly. Oh, Parasite actually finds Pyromancer, but can't get the kill. Ophelia's touch coming out. The demonic execution once again for the stun. It will set up Ophelia's rotation. And the blazing strike coming out from Pyromancer. Haxring gets credit for the kill. And here we go into the Kongor pit for Too Much Sugar. So again, this time he did bite off a little bit more than he could chew there. The Parasite.
Yes, indeed. And with the token on Soul Reaper, it's going to be really good with this Grimoire build because Soul Reaper does a lot of damage. No?
Oh, they're going to fall back.
What? I don't know. It's 45. Like, it's only 4. You guys should take this. Get some counter wards. You're good to go. You guys got this.
They used Ophelia's touch. They used a couple of ultimates. They still have Kelpfield and Seismic Slam. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, they can take this. But now the more time that they've wasted, I mean, Parasite's going to be up in about 10 seconds now. They're not even fully going for him. I mean, Pyromancer, he's, obviously you can't attack from there, so he's just kind of not sure what he's trying to do right there, but they are kind of, I mean, Fade's in the background. He's scary. Yeah, Stay Green is just, they're keeping tmsR on their toes. Oh, Soul Reaper. Now this is the worst case scenario. Haxrin's in a lot of trouble. He is going to be picked off. Seismic Slam miss it. Doesn't matter. You see that damage. Double damage right on Kraken. And I wonder if they're even going to try to steal Kongor themselves. Now, he doesn't have a buyback. Does he? No, he doesn't.
No.
Oh, jeez. This is backfiring big time here for tmsR. Yeah, I don't think they can't stop it. Without Soul Reaper, you're not fighting here.
Oh, Swindle got dusted. He could die here.
Yeah, you see Burning Shadows. He's in a little bit of trouble. They're still focusing on Kongor. Their energy field put down. Preemptive right there from Z-Freak. There's the jump. Bubbles trying to get it. No, he can't. Corrupt Disciple picks it up. Bubbles will fall right there. And it is starting to fall apart a little bit here for Too Much Sugar. Fade coming in. Beautiful Burning Shadows on 2. The Codex to follow. Down goes Ophelia. And we see a rally trying to make something happen, but Pyromancer already got picked up. Bubbles jumps back in after the buyback. Kelpfield comes out, but they just do not have the follow-up damage right now. Soul Reaper is still waiting to resurrect. You really feel like Too Much Sugar is just, they're slowly but surely falling apart here. And actually it's still continuing. Bubbles is going to be jumped by Fade. Down he goes. Fade's enough damage. However, now Corrupted Disciple might be in a little bit of trouble. Rally's chasing. Gonna get juked though. Soul Reaper coming in, but yeah, Corrupted just a little bit too quick right there. Stay Green, they're loving it right now. They're loving it. They now have a token on Corrupted. They have a Shrunken Head finished in full now on Corrupted as well. And again, that all started with, so should tmsR, I mean, should they have actually just outright fully committed there to Kongor?
I think they should have committed, like, they should have got in there with all 5 heroes right away, just killed it. Or what they could have done is they could have just jumped Stay Green and they go to contest Kongor. Like, I don't know why they're sitting there in the river, and you have 2 heroes with Blink. You have Blink Bubbles with Kelpfield and Silence, and you got Blink Rally, and they're sitting in the river and you're not jumping them. I don't really get it. Like, just take the fight.
Yeah, they seemed a little bit unsure of what exactly to do, and in the end, I mean, again, worst case, really, Soul Reaper went to do the Ancients while the rest of his team, and that in itself is also very risky too. I mean, honestly, when you think about it, if you're falling back from Kongor because you're scared they're going to jump you, then going by yourself to right next to the Kongor pit while your team goes the other way is also should just be kind of add up as being like, wait, is that the best choice? And obviously that did not work out and kind of just snowballed from there for Stay Green's favor. So. Yeah, Stay Green in a very comfortable spot now, 4,000 gold lead, but look at that experience lead especially. 12.5, that is an experience lead. However, Corrupted Disciple getting cut out right here. Shrunken Head goes up, though. Connor would apply to Pyromancer. Going to start locking him down. Ophelia is being locked out by the Keg's done. Going to be fine, though. They get the kill onto Pyromancer in the background. Energy field comes out. Rally's in trouble. Ophelia's touch going to be used. Doesn't matter, though. Rally will fall. Ophelia goes down. A double tap for Jesse. And Corrupted Disciple is just getting really strong now. They're going to easily push in this tower. Soul Reaper, I mean, he's farming away in the jungle over here. Not much he can do at this point in terms of assisting, but stay green. The train's going here, Sender, and I don't know if it's going to be stopping anytime soon.
I highly doubt they go base, but it's another tower kill, and this is just gonna be more snowball for SG, who have the. Honestly, SG have like we can't team fight lineup, but right now they're able to team fight and take the fights, and tmsR is not really gonna transition it well at all into the late game, even if they're able to come back from this resource disadvantage. Like they have a Soul Reaper who doesn't really do that much, and sure, you can have Grimoire and Sheep and armor items, but it's still you got 2 physical sources of damage in Kraken and the Disciple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's too much sugar. The Shaman's headdress actually going to be finished here by Soul Reaper. How about that? So goes the Grimoire power to farm up quite a bit and ends up on a Shaman's headdress. Now going to be working towards a barrier idol. Do you think that is more of just a reaction to how this game's going, or was he possibly just planning that from the beginning? Because
I really don't know. I already disagree with how he built Soul Reaper. I don't really understand. Maybe it's just I don't really know his reasoning for going Grimoire, because you're not really gonna play a farm game with your heroes. Mm-hmm. Sure, you do damage, and I guess if they got the token, it'd be good. He'd do good with the Grimoire, but he's still really squishy, and he's just gonna die to physical damage. He has 6.5 armor. They have 1 armor item on the team, being a Ring of the Teacher. So bulking up the magic damage still won't do that much.
Yeah. Shrunken Head picked up on Kraken right here. You got the Firebrand finished on Chessie, playing that Corrupted Disciple. Ophelia, Tank Offense in a lot of trouble right here. You see Stay Green. Oh, they're going to collapse. This is going to be a dead Ophelia. Is it? Maybe not, actually. I thought they were going to collapse right there, but they choose not to, actually. And in the end, well, he is going to get away for now, it looks like. So... but if, he is still being chased by the Wild Hunter, but yeah, not going to happen. So I feel like they had a chance right there, but they don't have the vision we do, of course. So now feeling.
Swindle might get caught here.
Do they have a bound out or anything?
He walked past essentially.
Yep. They see he's there. He's going to open. He's going to look to actually get the follow-up initiation. Bobbles gets bursted down, and here comes Corrupted Disciple sitting on top of Soul Reaper, actually. Soul Reaper trying to run away. The conduit was way too much, though. Down goes Soul Reaper right there. Ophelia's being locked down. Ophelia falls. Unfolds, you can see, comes out. GG, well played's being called. Stay Green are going to be your Season 2 SoundBlaster Heroes League champions as they defeat Too Much Sugar 3-1. Here in this best out of 5. What a series it was. Too Much Sugar. They came back in the 3rd game. They forced this 4th game here. And even they looked great, but Stay Green, again, as it did in the first 2 especially, really just a big fight takes place. Some decision-making might not have been the best from tmsR, and Stay Green rolls off of that. They're just so good at capitalizing off of those mistakes, Sender.
Yeah, and I really think I guess there's just 2 things that come to mind in this game. Is the overextension middle. They chase over the hasted fade, and by feeding, they fed 3 kills to Chessie, and or 2 kills to Chessie there, and they brought him back into the game, brought Swindlemillion's back in the game on fade, and that's where they threw away the early advantage, and then they just gave the entire game away to SG at the Conqueror fight.
Yeah. Yeah, so we do see, again, Stay Green. They take the series. Congratulations to them. I'm sure they're feeling really good. Again, a good amount of money definitely on the line here. $7,500 for first place. So that is theirs. The title of SoundBlaster Heroes League champions. Obviously, the Season 1 champions was Complexity. Season 2, though, belongs to Stay Green. SoundBlaster Heroes League, the first season, they got knocked out early on in the semifinals, actually, and had a fairly disappointing run in that. But they definitely get some revenge here to an extent, and I'm sure they're feeling pretty good. Too Much Sugar, valiant effort. They come for the winner's bracket. They defeated Stay Green 2-0 to get to this point from the winner bracket finals, and definitely a lot of hype and surrounding them, a lot of momentum, but obviously just going to fall short. Again, they get $3,500 of that prize pool, but in the end, Stay Green once again are your champions. So with that said, I believe we are once again going to be going over to our expert panel here. So let's go ahead and head over there. And I think we're going to have you join as well, Sender. So we'll get you on the call as well. And
okay.
we'll do some post-game discussion here. So let me transition here real quickly. Hop on in to these guys. So once again, we're going to be going back to the panel over here. We got Riser, Insania, and Beef. It looks like, unfortunately, Mr. Fantasy dropping out on us, having some issues. But we got everyone else here. It's over, guys. Stay Green. They take it. 3-1.
They most certainly do, Pranky, and an impressive comeback from the losers bracket right there. I mean, 3-0, Swindlebaum said that it would be a possibility. He said in our very first interview over a week ago now that it would be rather interesting to see how things shaped up. That if
Yeah.
they did drop to the losers bracket and make it back, they were in essence guaranteed victory. But they pulled it off right here. And I mean, insane. Yeah, what's your overall take on this game?
Well, it's very sad to say. Like I went into this game very negative after I saw the drafting stage. I feel like Swindle just had a fantastic draft. It was so good. It was exactly what he needed to have against what he was facing. I feel like Slick's picked Bubbles and Riley on the same team, and it just doesn't really work out. It's something that I've done a lot myself in my own team, and it's just the two heroes. They kind of fill the same role. I feel you can only have one of them on your team, and when you pick both of them on the same team, you will lack damage. And then they choose to go for the Soul Reaper, which kind of says push, 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 team fight, team fight, team fight. But looking at the line that they're going against, it's not a decision. So, really, the draft, that was the main thing in Game 3.
The Game 4, you mean? Did I get
Game 4.
Game
Game
4,
4?
yeah.
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 So, just double check. Just double check.
One game. Yeah. One game.
Yeah, you're cutting it.
Typical lag, Aiden.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah, Aiden's done.
the lag is back. At least it
All
came
of-
at the end.
All of Europe is getting disconnected from this call right now.
Apparently.
It is actually done
Oh.
over there.
Am I still lagging?
Yeah. 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 You.
We're having some issues. I mean, talking about that draft, though, we had a first-time Ophelia pickup from this series. My Nuts got to get on Parasite, and I'm just looking at Fantasy's notes here. His Parasite win percentage, 66%. Excuse me, 66% on that Parasite. Definitely good, but when compared to something like his Tempest, which is up at 90% win rate, we were definitely a little bit skeptical, but he made it work right there. And then the Fate Engineer combo definitely did some work. Riser, we were a little bit concerned about how that one was going to work out in the early game there, but I mean, how did you like the way that SG did decide to use their lanes?
Yeah, I think they sent 2 mid because they expected 2 mid as well. They were kind of caught off guard, but me and Aiden were kind of discussing it, and I really appreciate. No, I like them sending Ingy bot. I mean, secured farm on CD. CD is a hero that doesn't really have an escape mechanism. I think down there he would have really suffered and not gotten much, and I don't think he's a hero that comes back that well. Sure, he can farm decently, but he's not a hero that you can recover with, and I think the way you play CD is ideally he's in a 1v1 matchup, which he just absolutely crushes, and then he just snowballs out of control. He's an agility range hero, but he more peaks in the mid game than in the late game. And so I think that was a good idea for them to secure farm. As you can see, Fade doesn't necessarily need farm. She just needed the levels, and Swindle has some fantastic Fade plays. Really controlled the map well, despite being shut down early. But yeah, that was. I kind of want to talk about. Actually, there's one more point I want to bring up, Beef. We had some players on heroes that perhaps are less than ideal for their playstyle. Mainly, we had Minuts, like you just talked about, playing Parasite. So, Minuts more of a passive jungler, probably the best mechanically farming the jungle in the game. He'll always have insanely good farm on Tempest, and he will put it to good use in the team fights. But this usually kind of nerfs his activity in the early game, helping out the other lanes. And Parasite, you can actually just AFK farm and still have a pretty big impact. That's kind of how I like to play it, and I've discussed with some other players how best is to play Parasite. But regardless, we have Minuts, who usually like to see on Tempest, because I almost view Tempest as a carry. He farms so much. And then we had Kezu on Bubbles. That's another one I wanted to bring up. Aiden was talking about this well. Bubbles had such a fantastic start from the Ophelia ganks that he really had to snowball out of control for them to have a better time in that game. And Kezu is more of a player who I'm not really flaming him here. He's kind of like Minuts as well. He's more of a passive player. He finds his farm. He split pushes very well. And he just will never really make a big mistake and die. And that's not really what you want on your snowballing Bubbles at all. You really want a playmaker. And I honestly don't think that's necessarily his role. So those are kind of some key points I also picked up in the game.
Yeah, definitely. And then he had some very solid heroes. Something like Limp on Kraken, a hero that he's got close to a 70% win success rate with there. Playing it in the suicide lane ended up being like the top level in the game, and definitely got some strong team fights out of him. And one big key team fight was one in the middle lane where the first team fight, SG invested more resources into it, and they were able to come out with some very key kills. Then, of course, it looked like Haxer didn't decide to actually come into that team fight. He was trying to get his farm on. And Insania, what did you think about Haxer's decision there to just kind of farm and not really get into those team fights?
Well, in that fight, I think it was wrong. It looked like a good turnaround for Kaiser there when he catches them with Bubbles Kelp Field, but it just doesn't work for them at all. Haxer doesn't have a TP. He can't get there. I do believe was the whole thing. That's why he didn't TP. And it just came back to the draft. I tried to say it before, but apparently I was lagging out, so I'll repeat myself a little bit. But yeah, like they got a lineup where they don't want to fight. You don't want to fight against Kraken, CD, Fade in these heroes early game. That's just not what you want to do. Engineer as well. Like they are the kings of fighting early, but they had to because of how they drafted. So it was just a brilliant draft from Swindle that led to them they were forced to make poor decisions. Don't fight, you lose because Swindle has a carry. Do fight, you lose because Swindle has better team fight. So it's really hard to say if it was a bad decision from Haxer necessarily. It was just,
Yeah, he made his decision there, definitely. What's up, Ricky?
No, I was just gonna reiterate it. I mean, we definitely were talking about that during the game itself. It's from the item choice, the curiosity about that, but just a play style as well. But the thing that stood out to me again, just all three of the games that Stay Green was able to win, and I just think that they are the best team at doing this. They take your mistakes and they completely turn it against you. And we saw that all three of the wins there for Stay Green, the one fight that happened in all three games, completely turns it on its side. And tmsR they just could not recover after that. So Stay Green just knows how to really push the issue and go with the win after that. So.
No, I'm absolutely right there with you, Breaky. We saw Minuts actually take a death, and then tmsR tried to capitalize on that by taking a Kong. Instead, Soul Reaper got caught at the Ancients, and that set up that Kongor fight where they did kill Soul Reaper. The attempted token steal from Keizu wasn't able to make the play. And then from there, I mean, it was all downhill. Yeah. SG had all the momentum that they needed. I mean, Sender, was there any point at that time that tmsR could really turn it around?
I mean, like after the Kongor fight?
Yeah.
I think that game was over. They were still in the earlier in the game when they fought middle, the first bubble kill field where they caught the hasted Fade. That's kind of where the first huge mistake I saw from the team. And then the team fight top, they were fighting with Ophelia. You know, remember when Chesty died top, I think it was, and they got a kill on one of the tmsR line guys?
Yes. That was yeah. I do remember that.
I think they almost had Astrolabe on Ophelia at the time. They had Haxer and flying in the Lightbrand, which I think is a non-factor item that does literally nothing for that push. Whereas if they had bought the Astrolabe on, say, Soul Reaper, then Ophelia buys whatever he can, and then they take that fight and they don't run because they have a bunch of plus HP on their heroes, and they can maybe win that team fight there. Instead, they lose, and that's kind of the fight they need to win that game.
Yeah. Well,
do you really feel
agree.
like?
Oh, go ahead, Aiden. It's fine.
I was just gonna say, do you really feel like there was any way they actually could have won the game though? Even like say everything went out paced out perfectly for tmsR. Like I feel like the chances of them winning that game was like 20 to 80. It was just such a good draft from Swindle. I just don't see them winning with those heroes.
I agree that they had a bad draft, but I feel like the way they played their draft, there's no way they could have won.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back again to the item choices, especially with the Soul Reaper. And after that pick on a Corrupted Disciple, you feel like maybe if they made that decision to get more team fight going, make more pushes happen, then something could happen after that. But again, we're focusing a lot of the negative of tmsR, but I mean, just how about the play? Again, a Stay Green. They take the series 3-1. You know, obviously in that game number 3 where they lost right there, they still even played pretty well. That was just too much sugar, just playing better. They got that annoying split strategy that they like to run, and we've heard teams talk about that before. In fact, Hanskin mentioned that in his interview. He's like, I would rather play Stay Green because tmsR is just frankly annoying to play against with the strategy like that. So, they got their wish. They obviously lost that series, though. But again, Stay Green, they are the champions here in the end. So, congratulations to them once again. And I do got interviews set up here, but so I want to go ahead and actually get this wrapped up here, and then we can move on to that. So. First things first. I mean, I think it's safe to say this was we had a lot of fun with this. I definitely appreciate all you guys for helping us out here, what we call the expert panel. So I think we can go around here and Beef give you your final words here and whatnot.
I just gotta say, everybody involved with the SBHL, you guys have all been amazing. Really, really thankful to have all of you. Being able to do the analyst panel right here was definitely awesome. Big shout out to all the teams that participated. A huge shout out to SoundBlaster and all of our partners here for making this event happen. Breaky, you've been awesome. Everybody over at S2 that's been helping. The guys at SoundBlaster and Sivo have been great. Thanks to all the viewers at home for watching, and I'm really happy with this event. I hope that you guys are as well. But big congrats to Stay Green.
With that said, I actually didn't even realize that. You know what? Let's just do the interview here. I was just going to do a one-on-one with him, but it actually makes sense. We have him here anyway, so let's go ahead and do it here. We're joined by Swindle Melons now, of course, of Stay Green, the captain, and understandably, it looks like you're pretty happy, man. First off, congratulations, and how you feeling?
Feeling, I don't know. I'm feeling terrific. I'm really good. Don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of emotion in the Skype or whatnot. You guys use? I mean, a lot of cheering going on.
Yeah, a little bit. Some yelling at the end there, but there's not quite as much. It's not the same as like a LAN, but definitely got really hyped for these finals. Like this, it was a really big series for us, and especially that last game, we really wanted to win it because if we take it to a game 5, then everyone's just gonna say we really should have lost because they should have been 1 game up. So it was kind of important that we took it in 4 games. So I'm really glad that we did that.
Yeah, so again, you guys are up 2-0 going into that 3rd game. Obviously, I'm sure you're feeling good going into it, but all of a sudden they come back. They do force that 4th game. What was your attitude like going into the 4th game right there?
I don't know. I feel like with Legion, we'd beaten them already, and I think that I don't think we were going to be able to lose a draft coming from Legion.
Yeah.
So I was pretty confident. We should have won the game before that, but we pushed. Like we let them farm Stroken Heads, which is just honestly idiotic, and we didn't have the proper items. If we just did play that better, we would have won. So like we saw our loss as just our mistakes, and we were pretty confident going into the final game.
Yeah, it definitely that showed obviously going into the final game especially, but. So you take the series, obviously 3 games to 1. That game as well, you looked at the draft. I mean, you guys even ran the Balfagor there. You had the Flux NG combination with Tempest on top of that. It showed against Lions yesterday, but obviously, again, it wasn't enough there. But you come through in the end with that 4th game victory right there. So I want to pass it around, obviously, since we do have a lot of people here. I mean, first things first, I'll throw it to Beef here if you had any questions for Swindle Melons, if we have him on here.
Swindle, we've talked a couple times here in the past few days with interviews and whatnot, and you talked about how big of a matter of pride this victory was. And I mean, you guys, you said you could not lose to tmsR, and I mean, how big is this one personally for you and Zach?
It's pretty big. The prize pool was probably the biggest. It's like we were talking about in Skype after. It's like the same as DreamHack, but it was mostly the pride factor. Like we really just. I don't know. I don't really ever want to lose to tmsR. It'll probably happen eventually, maybe, but really don't want it to happen for a very long time. So we're really happy to take this one. It would have been one thing to lose to like IG. It would have been a totally other thing to lose this series, and especially after we got 2-0'd yesterday, just really did not want to lose 5 games to the same team in one weekend. That just would not cut it.
Well,
yeah. Hope that answers your question.
No, yeah,
definitely.
That was good. Any more beef?
Oh, that does it for me. We got plenty of people to ask.
We do. Sender, I'll throw it to you first. Or
All
next.
right. So in the last game, how happy were you when Slick banned 2 heroes pretty much for you?
I was pretty happy. It's funny because I actually went into the day thinking to myself, okay, like I asked, my team was really mad at me because I said, okay, Dampier, Warbeast, Scout, and Keeper. What 2 heroes do you want banned? And then that final game, all 4 of them were off the board before we even get started, and I was thrilled because I feel like we had just a huge advantage when Keeper and Warbeast are banned. It really limits their play style and the heroes they can select. So I was really psyched, and we were feeling really good just after the first couple picks.
A follow-up to that, I mean, you talked about the Dampier, and we pointed that out. You guys have a strong history of banning Dampier and Scout, really, as of recent. But obviously it changed this series here. What was the change reason?
We just, we saw if they don't have Warbeast in that game 3, it's honestly completely free. It's just that he gives Keeper and Warbeast allow the other team to just push side lanes all game, and they just sit in the lane and push. And also courier killing BS, it's just really annoying to deal with. And we'd much rather just let them pick heroes that can make plays. And I mean, that last game, we got to first pick Kraken. Lip, I believe, is now 10-0 on Kraken. I mean, we'll take that any day of the week if we're having Limp on Kraken versus, Kazu on some other playmaking hero. And worked out.
It certainly did. Riser, you got any questions for Sonamon's here?
Just one, and this is: would you say today you guys drafted better or played better than the last series you guys lost, or a combination of both?
Definitely drafted better. I don't think anybody can disagree with that. Play-wise, I think we definitely played a little bit better. But I think the most significant thing was just I didn't lose the draft, which I did in yesterday's games. So I'd say it's a little bit of both, but definitely not getting out drafted helps you a lot.
Yeah. You said last weekend. I mean, it's kind of funny because I know you're thinking about like Han Tour. It's every single week. The SoundBlaster Heroes League, man, it's just been straight. Group stages one week, the bracket stages next week. I'm sure that's been pretty fun for you guys, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's really just fun to just play Han all the time. Yeah. It's kind of lame to just have like 5 days of just scrims, and nobody wants to scrim. We all have stuff to do or whatever. So normally we only get like 2 days of playing in, sometimes only one. So it's really nice to have all those games.
Yeah. Insania, what about you?
Yeah. I don't really have. I feel like I was gonna ask the same thing that Thunder did before with the bans at the start of the game, but yeah, already answered that. So no, congratulations. That's all.
Thanks, man.
There you go.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the help, Aiden.
That's cool.
Research.
What? You did my thing in the keeper game.
True. Yeah, we had a brain trust going pre-match.
Thinking about how to beat
Somewhat.
TMsR.
It just helps, especially I think Aiden would agree. Like, it just really helps to just like speak your ideas, and then you'll be like, that kind of sucks, or that's kind of good, and then you just go with it. We had a few, honestly. There's a lot more heroes I wanted to run today, but it worked, so whatever.
Yeah. All right, so we'll give you your chance now, Sonamon's here, as far as shout-outs and everything. Any final words that you got here before we wrap up?
Big shout-out to all the Schmitz and the Friedmans who are probably watching. Christina, grandparents, all the fans, love you guys. And I can't think of anything like really cool to say, so just keep rooting for us, and hopefully we'll keep bringing home the victories.
You guys get a little bit of a break here. You're going to be watching those death matches, I'm sure, for DreamHack, of course. And then you got you got Han Tour continuing for you guys. Will be your next, set of matches. So best of luck in that, obviously. All right, so we want to go around the board here now as well. Back to the expert panel here, and give our chance to give our goodbyes as well from the cast here. So, like I said, we got Beef there. Let's go with Sender, co-caster for today and yesterday. Sender, any final words you got?
Just good games. It was fun to cast. It's always fun to do that when I'm available. So it's good. I like to do it for the community, even though there's haters and people that like it. And lastly, I'll just give a shout out to my social media, Sender Han on Facebook and Twitter. That's it.
There you go. Riser, thanks for joining us, man. Any shout outs, any final words from you?
I gotta do my obligatory shout out to BVC, even though it's kind of died off recently, and main shout out to Beef for setting up this tournament and doing so much for the Han community. Probably a little underappreciated, so shout out to you, Beef. You definitely deserve it.
I agree. Insania, what do you got?
Yeah, no, definitely agree with Riser. Beef, you're amazing to work with. It was really fun to set up this experts panel, whatever you want to call it, with you. It's been amazing of you to host this tournament. I don't think I've ever played any tournament that's gone this smoothly from start to finish. So that was really good. Another thing that I would like to bring up is we actually voted for an MVP before you guys jumped into the Skype call. We in the experts panel actually felt like Z-Freak was really the MVP of the series with amazing wording and such. And we actually have a poll for the viewers.
We do?
Where they're voting right now.
How is that going? Pulled it up here.
It looks like Chessie's winning that one, actually.
Jesse always wins.
They don't agree with us. Yeah.
I think Kyle's probably at the bottom.
Oh.
You suck, Kyle.
No,
Big
mine
surprise.
last.
Kyle fed in the last game.
Nice feed, bro. You got carried by Chessie.
All the time.
There you go. There's the poll on screen. Yeah, Chessie winning so far, so we'll give that a little bit longer here. But looks like he may be coming on top. So, anything else, Insania?
No, that's it. Shout out to my team.
There you go. All right, again, guys, just to reiterate, especially a big shout-out to Beef one more time. Definitely the amazing work that he put together for organizing this event. And obviously SoundBlaster, sure, a big part of it too, putting up the money and everything. But I think it's safe to say Beef was a massive reason why it was so successful in the end. So massive shout-out to you, man. As you said, this experts panel as well. Hey, I had fun with it. It sounds like you guys had fun. wouldn't be surprised if this is something that we perhaps do more and more for bigger matches like today. So we'll definitely keep that in mind and look to advance with it. Definitely feel free to give us your feedback as always on the forums or wherever, especially concerning something like this. And again, the SoundBlaster Heroes League, it's official. It is officially over. Stay green one more time. They are your Season 2 champions, ladies and gentlemen. And with that said, I think it's safe to say that we're going to be wrapping things up as far as coverage goes, guys. So there's going to be a couple days off here. There's actually a good chance that we'll probably come for a podcast even tomorrow, I'm sure. But on Wednesday is when the deathmatch stage kicks off for the DreamHack Winter 2013 event. That'll be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Those matchups are going to be happening, and holy crap, there's a lot on the line, and those are going to be some great. Hey, I was talking to Center about that. We had a best of 5 today. We got 3 more coming up here at the later part of this week. It's crazy to think that. Best of 5s don't really happen too much, but looking forward to that especially. So, anyways, guys, with that said, without further ado, have a good night. We'll see you next time. Again, congrats to Stay Green. They are your SoundBlaster Heroes League champions. We'll see you next time.
It's time to take your sound with you. Don't stop. Personalize. On the go.
Yo, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm on my way.
Always ready. Ready for the best. Because we deserve the best.
Are you ready? Fight!
The all-new Evo Series headsets from SoundBlaster.
One more thing, guys, real quickly. I do want to let you guys know, go to SoundBlaster Gaming Facebook. The SoundBlaster Gaming Facebook, you go to the offers tab, and you actually can enter for a chance to win a